Tonight, we are pleased to have with us a Knox County resident who has established a reputation for being a powerful voice of common sense in our national conversation on a range of issues. He has served in the administration of George W. Bush, where he earned the Joint Civilian Service Commendation from the Department of Defense for his work as an advisor to the coalition government in Iraq during the war. His book, Tough Sell: Fighting the Media War in Iraq, later won acclaim, including from the Army War College. He went into business following his government service before becoming a columnist for Forbes and a host for Sirius XM Radio. Today, in addition to shuttling kids to and from football, volleyball, and tennis practice, he is the host of America Right Now Newsmax television, a senior commentator on the network, a long-standing columnist from the Washington Times, and a contributor to the Daily Caller. As president of Worldwide Public Affairs Group, he continues to provide strategic communications counsel to major companies, public policy organizations, government agencies, nonprofits, and individuals across the country. Before relocating to Tennessee, escaping what he calls COVID communism, Tom served as executive director to the New York State Republican Party and was a consultant to the Republican National Committee during the 2004 presidential election. Currently, Tom hosts America Right Now on Newsmax Network, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Today, he, his wife, 3 kids, and a golden retriever named Liberty proudly call Knox County home. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Basile.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chairman. You've done me no favors. Everybody is either drunk or they have a food coma, and I am the one person who stands between them and Tim Burchett and Senator Blackburn. So I'm not going to be up here very long. I do want to say, I want to take a point of personal privilege, first of all, and say congratulations to you. And this is a full room. And give yourselves a round of applause for supporting the Knox County Republican Committee and conservative government. It is good to see Senator Blackburn. I usually see her in 2 dimensions, not 3 dimensions, so it's great to see her here. And I don't know if you know this or not, but last week, together with Elise Stefanik in New York, Senator Blackburn introduced a bill to ban no cash bail laws all across America. Senator, I've seen what that does. I've seen what that does. It is a cancer on our justice system, and I have seen what it does to communities, and that is just one of a number of issues that you're at the forefront of, and I appreciate you, and thank you very much. So much has been said, but, you know, as somebody who spends a lot of time talking to people in the conservative movement, talking to our elected officials, I can tell you that this is a difficult moment, particularly over these last couple of weeks, but in a general sense, this is a difficult moment for America. But this is our moment. I think it's very important for everybody here to realize that as Tennesseans, we've been here before. The country has counted on Tennessee to protect and defend American freedom before. Think about our history. Think about the history of this country and this great state. And we will rise to the occasion again. You know, every week that I go back to New York to go to my studio, I sit on the right side of the aircraft so I can see the Statue of Liberty as we fly up the Hudson River. And every time I see that statue, I think of Emma Lazarus's poem. And it concludes by saying, "I lift my lamp beside the golden door." 100 years ago, the exemplification of the American experience was often thought of to be in places like New York, and Boston and Chicago and Washington, D.C. But the center of gravity for the American experience has shifted off of the coasts. And it is now in places like Tennessee and Texas and Florida. And places where we have never forgotten the formula for American greatness. Our Constitution, our Judeo-Christian values, and our ability to work hard for real freedom and prosperity. The eyes of the nation are again on Tennessee. And I want you to think about where we are and how fortunate we are and how critical it is that we protect not only our quality of life here in Knox County, but all across Tennessee, so that we can have a foothold on fighting the radical left. Consider that in just over a month, it is very likely that a radical Islamist, socialist, anti-Semite may become the mayor of the largest city in America. Consider that just 2 weeks ago, the senator from Virginia, and if you forgot your history, Thomas Jefferson was from Virginia, Tim Kaine said with a straight face that the founding principle of our nation, that our rights come from God, not men, was analogous or comparative to the terrorists in Iran. But this is our moment. We saw the most horrific political assassination in more than 5 decades in this country just a few days ago. But this is our moment. And instead of asking why, I encourage everybody in this room, as I conclude here, to ask what? What can I do? What can we do to promote our values? And again, you don't have to do it on a nationwide basis. Start with your community. Start with your neighborhood, your church, your business, your school. And that is how, together, we will ensure that the volunteer exemplifies the heart and the spirit of this great country. Thank you all very much. All right, now I have the unenviable task, also given to me by the chairman, of introducing somebody who obviously requires absolutely no introduction. But I think that he said to me, would you like a bio on the congressman? I said, no, I think I'm good. I think the best way to introduce somebody is to use their own words. So I'm going to give you the top 5 Tim Burchett quotes of the last 2 years, okay? All right, here we go. Here we go, hold on, I'm going to show my age. I'm going to take out my glasses so I can read this, hold on. Here we go. Referring to Tennessee Congressman David Kustoff, quote, "He is my favorite Jew after Jesus." In response to a question about gun control laws, quote, "I don't see any real role that we can do other than mess things up." And he was right about that. To the Biden Director of the United States Secret Service, "Ma'am, you are a DEI horror story." In response to a reporter, this is number 2, about national security secrets, quote, "Do you trust your mother every night to fix your hot pockets and make sure your Game Boy is turned on?" And this one's my favorite. This is the number 1. This is my favorite one. "I don't take myself seriously. I take the job seriously." Boy, don't we need more of that. Ladies and gentlemen, having served in Washington, I can tell you without hesitation that the road of candor and common sense For those who travel it in Washington, D.C., they are seldom bothered by traffic, okay? And we are very, very fortunate to have a congressman who, at any given time, on any given day, is often driving that road alone. Tim Burchett, ladies and gentlemen.